Hey everyone, it's Caleb with InklingsFiction.com once again, and I am here for the fifth part of the Get Her Done series. So, what is the fifth part? It is story prompts. So, I understand that you guys, if you are trying to get her done, odds are you're trying to get your very first story done. So, you might think, I don't need a story prompt, I have a story idea already. So, that's the thing that I think is really interesting. Story prompts, they can be used for things other than just writing your story. They can be used for coming up with the next part of your story. And there are genre-specific story prompts, but I find that some of the best prompts I can find sometimes are from ones that are not my genre. And I think it's sort of an interesting little hack, if you will, because a lot of people in my genre, if they are new to being an author, they'll look up story prompts for, say, science fiction. But for me, I'm like, I'm going to look up a story prompt for this historical fiction or something along those lines, and I'm going to adapt it to be science fiction and adapt it to fit in my universe, and I'm going to make it my own. And something that I think is really fun about that is it gets your creative juices flowing from the get-go, and I find that that helps me write a better story in the long run. So what exactly are story prompts? If you guys are new to writing, or if you haven't gone to school in the recent decades, because as far as I know, I think like every writing teacher tries to get story prompts to get their kids writing in their writing class, but story prompts and writing prompts and all that sort of stuff are little prompts, which would be between anything from like 3 words to a couple paragraphs of giving you an idea of what to write on. So these ideas can range from something like bird flying over a rainbow to Johnny lives in a dystopian world where the government takes everyone's left kneecap. How is Johnny going to keep his left kneecap from the government? Or something like that, you know? Like, sometimes they're totally random things that don't make any sense to you, but it might make sense to another author. Other times it's something that you just look at and you stop and you're like, oh no, this changes everything. And you just get so excited and you probably will smile to yourself and be like, I am so happy right now, you know? So because story prompts can be so helpful for so many people, I have actually gone and started making story prompts on inklingsfiction.com. So I'm going to take you guys into a little screen share part. Just keep watching. All right, here we are. Here's the story prompts. As you can see, this is the inklingsfiction.com site. I'm going to link that in the description. Easy to get to. But if you don't want to go through that, you can always type in inklingsfiction.com and it should pop up. So once you get onto this page should not change very much over the future, but once you're on this page, in the top bar of the navigation, you're going to see Home, About Us, Writers, Story Prompts, Kindle Vella, and Bookstore. So Kindle Vella and Bookstore, those are 2 things that you can check out individual authors' books, which I think is in stories, which I think is pretty cool. I'm doing that to sort of help all of our authors on Inklings Fiction to get their books seen once they get their books out. If you don't have books out just yet, you can always publish your books with us under Writers. And not just books, but like little stories. And that is what Inklings Fiction is more or less for, is for people to find stories. So here's all the different genres that you can find stories in. Not all of these have stories in them just yet. So I'm waiting on you guys to fill them up with stories. And then, of course, I have posts of the latest stories that we get. But back to the story prompt sort of thing. That's on the top of the thing. As you can see, it's this option right here. The order might change in the future. It really depends on what I do. But just click story prompts, and it'll take you on over to the story prompts page. As you can see, there are short prompts. And if you scroll past the short ones, which there's quite a few, because as I said, I've been making a lot of these. I understand that people help them a whole lot. I understand that it helps people a whole lot, so I try to make as many ones as I can. But then I also have weekly prompts. And weekly prompts are something that I bring into the Inklings Facebook group. I post them there first, and then when I get a chance, I post them on the website itself. And you can just scroll through all the weekly prompts and choose which ones you want there. So of course, it is pretty easy to navigate to, so you can either just click the story, or you can just read the little bit that you want, and once you click on the link, you'll be taken to the post, and A lot of these I'm going to actually make videos for of me going through just a few of them. So this one, it's 7 Bible adaptation prompts, and that's out of a list of 25. I just grabbed 7 of them and made a video. And you can just go through all of the ones you want, read through all of the ones you want, and you can make whatever story you want. And since I'm the one making all these up, I am making them completely up from scratch. And because I'm doing that, I am giving you guys permission to do whatever you want with all the prompts. Like, you can make whatever story you want. No royalties, no commissions, no rules. Like, a lot of people, I guess, they make rules of, oh, if you use my prompt, you have to post on my site and all that jazz. I don't do that. You're free to use my prompts however you want. So this is just one of the things, going back really quick. So as you can see, I have ones on action stories, alternate history, science fiction, which is the genre I write, crime thriller, all these things for these. And if you don't want to do it by that, something that I personally really like doing is the weekly prompts, because I'm able to get into the meat and potatoes a little more with these. So with the short ones, I only give you like a prompt that's like 2 or 3 sentences long. And while that gives you ideas, it doesn't help you very much, in my opinion. So for these weekly ones, I get to go into it a lot deeper. So let's just hit away for this weekly prompt, since it's on the top right now. So as you can see, this entire thing, all these paragraphs are all just talking about this one prompt. And while that doesn't sound very nice, what is nice is that it's not really specific to a genre. A lot of these are very genre non-specific. A couple of them are genre specific, but again, as I mentioned earlier, it can be really nice to look at these ones that are not meant for your genre and then play with them and turn them into your genre, because that really gets the creative juices flowing in a way that they wouldn't flow otherwise. So there's that for you guys. Now, I understand that there is a whole lot for you guys to go through and learn as writers, but what I find is the best teacher is experience when it comes to writing. And I think between you and me, the best way to figure out how you write and the best way to get your story done is to actually go through a whole bunch of story prompts. Write them all down. You can post them on inklingsfiction.com, or you can save them for yourself to make into your own book. But put together like 10 different prompts. Write your own story for them. And here's a life tip or a pro hack, whatever you want to call it. Write all these stories to be like in the same universe and have the same main character. When you do all that, you can then do something that I love doing, and that is how I wrote my first book, actually. I grabbed all these prompts from all my years in school, and for my very first book, which actually ended up becoming 3 books, like I ripped up that one book into 3, I was able to take, I think it was just like 4 prompts that I had written on, plus like 2 stories I had started writing on my own. I married them all together. It took a lot of editing because I didn't write them all to be of the same characters, same universe, all that stuff. But I was able to put them all together into one thing that I think actually turned out really well. And because I completely rewrote it all, it obviously went together a whole lot better. For you guys, you can of course do that with all the short story prompts and story prompts and all that jazz that I come up with on inklingsfiction.com. You can grab whatever prompts you've already made on your own, and actually using all that sort of stuff is in the next video. So be sure to subscribe below, leave a like, leave a comment, and probably hit the bell icon if you're on YouTube right now. When you guys do that, you'll get all my latest videos. And be sure to watch the next video in this series, which is going to be part 6, and that is making sure nothing goes to waste. See you in the next video, guys. Right on, and God bless.